How's it? What's up, ninjas? You're logged into 20 Gaming Podcast, where we bring you the dopest stories in gaming, AI, and digital creativity. Today's guest is Koben Hofmeyer, the mastermind behind the viral GTA South Africa trailer. You know, the one with Sister Bettina music playing in the background. And that was so funny. But his journey goes way beyond gaming. You see, when he was a teenager, Koben suffered a life-changing neck injury while playing rugby that left him in a wheelchair. But that didn't demotivate him. In fact, it motivated him to start an initiative called Sport Injury Guardians, or SIG, which is to support young high school athletes facing sport injuries. Let's dive deeper into Koben's GTA trailer, his game development project, and the incredible journey that makes him truly one of a kind. Let's go! Yo, Koben, thank you so much for joining 20 Gaming Podcast. Really honored to be talking to you. So, first couple of questions are about the GTA Mzansi trailer. What inspired you to create the GTA Mzansi trailer, and how did you approach capturing South Africa's unique energy and culture in the project?
Hey man, firstly, thank you for having me. It's really an honor to be speaking here, especially to Tony Gaming. So the thing that actually inspired me was when V03 dropped, and then with V03 I started experimenting and stuff, and I was like, oh my days, I can do so much through this platform, so much with this AI video generating software. And yes, I essentially just got the idea, like, if GTA 6 is taking so long, let's just hop on we got this before GTA 6 trend, and decided to make a GTA 7 trailer based on South Africa, which is Mzansi, but in the game it's Mukazansi. So yeah, no, I think all of the creativity just started flowing since once I started thinking about what's going to be in the game, how's the storyline going to be. And my friend Tony Sadiki, I messaged him, I was like, bro, I'm going to make a GTA 7 trailer. Do you want to be one of the main characters with me, like a playable character? And he was like, brother, that would be too dope. So we did it, and essentially I did all of it actually, but he's in it. But yeah, that's actually where the inspiration came from, is when I saw V03.
The trailer features you running around doing bank heists. Does working with AI give you the freedom to imagine yourself walking again?
Oh my days, it's actually so funny that you point that out. Yes, the second I started using V03, and I thought, like, of all the capabilities it has this picture to video prompt, right? And that actually just made a shiver go down my spine, as I know that my spine isn't very good now since my injury, especially the nerves and everything. So I'm a bit disabled. I broke my neck in rugby when I was 15 years old. So my nerves are not as good as they should be, you know. And the second I started using VO3, while seeing what it can do and the capabilities of it, one of the first things I thought of is like, oh my days, I can actually make so many videos of myself doing stuff that I can't do in real life. So yes, it definitely takes my capabilities, especially like in a creative sense, to the next level. Like, there's so many videos I want to make, because I like make comedy skits and so on that I post on my Instagram, and a lot of them are, you know, confined to my body, as I can't do a wide variety of things. So in essence, VO3 gave me my legs back in the GTA 7 trailer, where I run away from the police. Not that I want to go and steal and run away from the police, but yes, I would love to run again, and VO3 granted me that.
You mentioned receiving copyright strikes for the trailer due to music licensing issues because you used Sister Bettina and another local track. So how did that impact your creative process?
Well, to be quite honest, I don't think I got a copyright strike for Sister Bettina. I think I handled that one correctly. But yes, Eden's superhero song at the end, I definitely got a strike for that one. And I think the reason was that there was too many segments of continuous music of the track in the trailer. Even though I did play around with like the tones of the songs, like the saints and the semitones, you can like make the pitch lower and higher and stuff like that. I think with Sister Bettina, I actually didn't play around so much, so it's actually more a clean song, but still somehow I think it's because I have it so much broken up, and after me speaking over the track, it didn't pick up the copyright strike for Sister Bettina. But yes, Eden's superhero song at the end definitely got a copyright strike. So yeah, now I can't monetize the video, but it's not really a problem at the moment because I can't monetize any videos of my YouTube channel because I don't comply with the minimum requirements. For me, it's actually just sad that if one day I can start monetizing videos, and if GTA 7's trailer is still doing good in terms of like streams and watches and views, I will not earn money for it. But yeah, a lot of hard work went into that. I think it's like a week of generating and editing and finding the perfect clips. You don't have any idea how many Gmail accounts I had to make to exploit the free trial version of V03 on the Flow platform of Google. Obviously, there's lots of other places, but then the quality is not as good. So I stick to that, got the model, and started using it on Flow through the free version of Google AI Pro.
GTA 6 is on the horizon. It's just around the corner. Everybody's hyped up. We all want to see it. What are your expectations or hopes for the game?
I mean, honestly, the trailers speak for themselves, eh? The trailers have just showcased what amazing graphics we can expect, and which is why one of the reasons I need to sell my PCs, both of them, so that I can get one big one, one big, very strong one to be able to play GTA 6. I really think that they did a great job with the physics, with the graphics. The map, I mean, it's based on the Leona state of Florida, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, we have the likes of the iconic Vice City in the game. It includes the city, Vice City, which is amazing. And yes, I think Jason and Lucia will be great main protagonists. Honestly, I think this is going to be the most awaited game of all time. It probably already is due to the statistics on how much likes and views it got in the first hour since the first trailer and stuff dropped. So no, honestly, I think GTA 6 is going to be amazing. I think it's going to be a game that's going to be played for the next 1 or 2 decades easily. I mean, if GTA 5 could pull it off, I don't see GTA 6 not following in its predecessor's footsteps. So no, I'm very, very excited.
Okay, now, so let's talk about gaming and accessibility. How has your injury affected the way you play games? Have you had to adapt to your setup or approach to gaming because you have to sit in a wheelchair?
I mean, yes, if we have to look at it from a standpoint of not just the hands, yes, my whole setup at home changed. Suddenly, we needed to make the home wheelchair accessible. So if the home itself wasn't accessible for the wheelchair, also my living space, my room wasn't wheelchair accessible. So we had to move out a lot of things, get in a different desk, change the monitor's height and stuff. At this time, I still had a PS4. So it was quite difficult to get everything in such a way that I can have access to the remotes, play the remotes, and put them back. Because in the very beginning, I was very, very much paralyzed from the nipple line on downwards, and I only had my biceps and a few of my fingers to work with. But now, obviously, I've retained a lot of mobility and function. So in the very beginning, it changed my entire life, including my gaming, my setup. And yes, I had to maneuver my green wheelchair in my room around the gaming setup with my wheelchair that's named Shrek. And it was definitely a learning curve for everyone in the house, not just for me. But yeah, it affected me a lot.
Do you think gaming is accessible enough for persons with disabilities or PWDs? What improvements would you like to see in the industry with regards to persons with disabilities, people on wheelchairs or people who might only have one hand or one arm, stuff like that.
It's actually funny that you bring this up. I mean, there was a time in my recovery state where my right hand was giving me so much trouble that I couldn't play with it due to spasms and stuff. And I really learned how to play GTA 5 with my left hand. I was driving completely solely with my left hand. So it was very weird to hold a normal remote in your left hand, trying to steer and drive, and then you have to put the remote down in order to use your hand again for the right joystick and look around. So I think for people with one hand, it's going to be a very steep learning curve, but once they get it done, it will be amazing to see what they can do with a normal remote, and even more so if they had their own adaptive remotes. So I know there's a few leading industries that try to incorporate remotes for people with disabilities, and I think PWDs obviously utilize it, but I think they exploit, and rightfully so, because it's not a very big demographic that you try to cater for with these disability controllers, if that's the right way to refer to it as. So I think they make it extremely expensive, which is not really in favor of people with PWDs, because we already have so many expenses in our lives. That's something that should be recreational for our mental and your psychological being. Something like that really exploits us on the other side. So yeah, I think we are receiving the wrong end of the stick by having to pay very, very expensive amounts of money for something that should be, according to my personal opinion and perspective, that shouldn't be that expensive. So I think it would be great to have these adaptive controllers for people with disabilities. They actually need games more than you and I do, because they really can't do anything much in real life. I mean, if you broke your neck at a very, very high place, let's say C6 and above, because I broke at C6 and I lost my fingers for the first 3 weeks. I mean, if you have a complete spinal cord injury at C6 and higher, that means you have no hand function. So these oaks have little to no function in their entire bodies. They need games more than any of us, and they really can't play because the adaptive remotes are either too expensive, not available, or there's not one fitting their needs. So I would actually like to see more of it in the near future, as well as it being a little bit less expensive for the public.
Do you see ways AI could help improve the lives of PWDs, both in gaming and beyond? Think of bionic implants like Johnny Silverhand in Cyberpunk, or maybe exosuits like the ones in Age of Tomorrow, the movie with Tom Cruise, or the exosuit in Elysium, the movie with Matt Damon. So do you think maybe that would actually be possible in the real world, where maybe somebody can't walk, but then they put on this exosuit, and then the exosuit allows them to walk and have superhuman strength and carry heavy objects, leap tall buildings in a single bound?
Well, yeah, that's actually something I forgot to mention in my previous answer, is that neurolinking is going to open so many doors for people that really can't move anything. I mean, it's an implant in your brain. You'll be able to communicate with a computer via your brain impulses, and obviously this can be utilized as an input for, I would say, a very, very dynamic mapping interface of a game. So there must be some way for people with little to no function to use neurolinking to play games. So yeah, I definitely think there will be a lot of implants in the near future that will be adapted from that concept to make us not only have an input on screen, but have an input on your physical body. I mean, if it sends an electrical impulse, you can literally utilize and exploit binary code. So it's a 0 and a 1, it's an impulse, it's a high and a low. And funny enough, yes, I've walked with the exoskeleton in my rehab process in Cape Town. It essentially walks for you. So obviously somebody balances you as you're walking in it, and then this computer's AI interface calculates how much of the work I'm doing, how much of the work it's doing. It has a lot of, yeah, I think it's a gyro that calculates your orbital shift and your, like, in terms of the X, Y, and Z coordinates, where your limbs are, what your input is, kind of like really how you code a game. So yes, I think definitely if it's already so much based on some in-game principles and how much games are based on real life principles, I think we can definitely find a bridge between the real world and games.
Okay, let's flip it over to game development now. You mentioned designing a game where players take on the role of a game ranger, hunting poachers and dismantling traps at the Kruger Park. Can you tell us more about the concept and what inspired it?
Okay, well, yeah, this is actually very confidential information, but yeah, I will definitely share it with you. You see, I haven't even shared it with my main fan base on Instagram or TikTok, and they are the people that actually inspired me to start creating a game lately. So, since the GTA 7 trailer came out, a lot of people were, I mean, thousands of people were asking, okay, Koben, develop this. We want this game. Game devs, come together and make this happen. We want to have this game. And obviously, I'm a single person. I'm not even a real game developer. Rockstar has 6,000 game developers working on GTA 6. There was no way I would be able to replicate something like that in the trailer in real life in a game. So I thought, like, okay, well, I'm still gonna make them a game. I really want to try and make a game. So I decided to make a South African based top-down shooter for like game rangers and poachers, because it's a real problem we have in our parks, poachers, and not just with rhinos. I mean pangolins, snares, traps. I mean, look at all the endangered wildlife in South Africa. And I really love animals and I love hunting, so I know like how animals behave and how important conservation is, because hunting and conservation go hand in hand. So it was obviously a no-brainer for me to try and develop something like this. And the first attempt was in Java, a very old language, in a very not so well known graphics and physics. I actually think it's not a physics library. I think it's only a graphics library. It's libgdx. And after making like this concept game and showing it to my girlfriend and my best friend, they were like, "No, Kevin, we don't like this." And I was like, "Okay, you know what? Maybe it's too much 2D." And I decided to go big or go home, and I decided to start up Unreal Engine 5, in which a lot of AAA games are being developed. But I kept the poly count low because I don't want to throw away mobile game players, because I want people to play it on mobile phones as well, because not everybody has a PS5 casually waiting in the living room. It's an expensive console. And not everybody has a gaming freaking workstation like I do with the PCs. So I wanted to try and make a game for them that's only gonna be no, I want to make it cross-platform. I want to make it multiplayer as well. And also another thing is that the name of the game is gonna be Kruger the game. Essentially, I want to finish it before the end of the year. That's me being very optimistic of myself, and obviously not even taking into consideration debugging and stuff like that. But yes, that is the aim of the game. I really want to release my game before the end of this year.
What message or experience do you hope players will take away from your game? Are you maybe trying to push nature conservation or environmental activism with the game?
Oh yes, definitely conservation. I think the main focus should be conservation and obviously entertainment. If you watch most of my my Instagram videos, I try to be a very funny guy. I try to not only motivate and inspire people, but make people smile, make people laugh, have this positive energy rub off on people. So there's gonna be a lot of Easter eggs in the game about South Africa, and like where I'm joking about political leaders, and where I joke about hidden gems in our country like car guards. Love them. There's gonna be a lot of inside jokes and Easter eggs in the game, so I want people to play it and unravel stuff about their country in the game. Stuff that they can be proud of, stuff that are only in South Africa. I have this series on my Instagram and my TikTok where I talk about the most dangerous combinations in South Africa, and some of them people loved. Actually, all of them people loved. I mean, like one of them being a car guard with a card machine. That is a very dangerous combination. So yeah, I want to incorporate a lot of these stuff in the game, and obviously like Afrikaanse Macy's with Suzuki's, they are a very dangerous combination on the roads. I want to have a lot of Easter eggs in the game, so I want people to enjoy it. That's the most important thing. Numero uno, enjoy it, and then at the same time, plant the seed of conservation in their brain.
Okay, now, Koben. Okay, Koben. So let's talk about your initiative called Sports Injury Guardians, or SIG. Can you please explain to listeners what is SIG, and when did you start it, and what motivated you to start it?
Okay, so the Sport Injury Guardians is a brand new initiative. We started it officially at the beginning of this year, and it started because of people that, well, kids like me that sustain life-changing injuries and don't get the needed medical care that they need in moments when they need it most. So essentially, it's a membership program where you pay 375 Rand a month to get full coverage on your kid and their accident, whatever it may be, not just a sport injury, at hospitals, private medical facilities, obviously, no state hospitals. So it's not contradicting a medical aid. Actually, it's just adding to your medical aid, because the thing is with medical aids nowadays, there's what I'm not going to call out any names, but like essentially they went and said that if your kid gets hurt in a school organized game or match, it is not covered by them because it is the kids play at a competitive level in which the risk of getting hurt is way higher, especially in a country like South Africa where we are very competitive and we love sport, we're loyal towards sport. So that rule actually is something that throws parents off the day your kid gets an injury. Ask me. We had a lot of complications with the medical aid when I broke my neck, and the 11 hours that passed to travel an hour, because of the medical aid and third parties wanting quotations and all that to get the cheapest ride because they don't cover what's needed, cost me my mobility today. So that's the reason I'm disabled, because I had to wait 11 hours, and at that time I was completely paralyzed from the shoulders on downwards. It's a must-have. I mean, for 3 pizzas, you can cover your kid every single month, and I think it would be selfish for parents not to cover their kids. But for sport injury, you can claim up to well, yes, the doctors can claim up to 500,000 Rand, and if your kid gets hurt at home while being on the Sport Injury Guardians membership program, they can claim up to 1.5 million Rand per incident. So it's per incident, not per month, per year, per incident. If your kid gets hurt twice in a month, the doctors can claim twice that amount from us. And we are with Unity Health, we are with ER24, we're with big names, big brands, Bright Insurance, to make sure that the kids get the product they need, and they get the attention and the medical help and intervention that they need in time.
When we were talking over the phone a couple of days ago, you mentioned that SIG has recently seen an update in new members. What kind of sports are these kids involved in?
Well, from the members that we can see, most of them are a lot of rugby players, a lot of rugby members signing up, because rugby is a very intensive sport. And also, funny enough, a lot of kids that don't actually even play sports, just kids that, where the parents are scared their kids get hurt at home, because it covers any type of accident, not just school, sports, but also injuries at home, at the park, in the kitchen, down the stairs, at school. So it's kind of like a mix of kids, to say the least. It's rugby players. It's most of them are male, because yes, boys do tend to get hurt more frequently than girls do. But yes, we also do have a lot of ladies, young ladies, girls on the program. But yes, most of the new members that we see are signing up are mostly rugby players or people that don't play sports, physical sports at all.
We also briefly discussed the possibility of SIG including esports in its plans. We didn't go into detail, but how do you see esports fitting into SIG's mission? And what benefits could it bring to kids who play gaming? I mean, kids playing Fortnite and FIFA and Call of Duty, on gaming controllers or keyboards, don't really face any threat of physical injury, unlike your traditional members who play sports like rugby or wrestling. It's gonna be a tricky one, but how do you think we could actually make SIG relevant to esports?
Well, if you look at it from a broad perspective, yes, it might seem tricky because the first thing you read is sport injury guardians, but we cover all types of sports at home, at the park, in the kitchen, down the stairs. So essentially, let's say worst case scenario, bear with me. You rage quit on FIFA, you fall back with your chair. I don't know if this has ever happened to someone. If it has, why didn't you get the sport injury membership program, buddy? Because we will cover that. If you fall behind, achteroor and hit your head and get a cut or need stitches or anything, we cover that. You have absolutely no payments from your side. We pay for everything. Well, yes, the doctors can claim everything through your membership program, so that you don't even have to pay any amount on the side. So yes, you can claim up to 500,000 rand with a sport injury on the field. But yes, an esport gamer that gets hurt at home or on their way to a tournament or whatever, they can claim up to 1.5 million rand. So that's actually better for them. So yes, I would definitely try to convince all esports players to definitely, for their own well-being and for their health's best interest, to get onto the sport injury guardians membership program as soon as possible. Just because you don't physically have a physically challenging sport doesn't mean you don't have a sport. Like esports are included. We do include them, regardless of how they get hurt. So yes.
If you could send a message to someone who's facing challenges similar to yours, what would you say to inspire or encourage them?
Well, there is one simple phrase that I love telling people that helped me a lot in rehabilitation when I was at the lowest point in my life. It all comes down to the simple thing of being thankful for what today holds, simply because we don't know what tomorrow entails. And the phrase is, if you ever had the chance to admit that life is unfair, you were fortunate enough to have one in the first place. So for me, I'm a very religious man. I feel like God's already on my side, so it can be against me. And for that reason, the only limit in this lifetime, the only thing that can make or break you, the only thing that can set you ahead or hold you back, your only limit in this life is you, because God is already on your side. So just be thankful for what you have, even though you lost a lot, and use that to keep on moving forward. Utilize that, exploit everything you still have left and make the most out of it, because there are people, no matter what your circumstances are, there are people with less than you, less than me. There are people in worse circumstances. Kids my age on their deathbeds wishing for another hour. Here I am complaining about not being able to walk down the corridor. Damn, Koben, walk. Okay, sorry, I can't say that. Like, Koben, walk down the corridor, crawl down the corridor, have a cripple walk across the corridor, get through the corridor. There are people that won't be able to live to complain, because we have this thing of like, oh, there's so much things to complain about, but do we ever think about the privilege we have to complain? We are alive. We are in a state of being to be able to complain, to perceive the world around us, to be able to experience things around us, whether it's good or bad, whether we can praise about something or complain about something, we have that privilege, that opportunity. People don't have it. So for me, 100%, you need to be thankful regardless of your circumstances. You need to come out on the other side after you cried, after you mourned, after you throw your tantrums, after you break your glasses or cups or whatever. You have to get onto the other side and be thankful for what you still have left and use that to move on. So I want to thank you so much for this opportunity, man. It was a great interview. Blessings to you, blessings and abundance to you. God bless you, and all the best forward.
Pleasure is all mine, Koben. Thank you so much. I know you're a busy man, so I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to do this interview. And yeah, it's a wrap, ninjas. That was Koben Hofmeyer. He is the creator behind the sensational Grand Theft Auto 7 South Africa trader. Young man broke his neck playing rugby when he was a teenager, but that didn't stop him from creating SIG, which stands for Sport Injury Guardians, a medical aid scheme for school sports players, which can also include esports players. You know, all you have to do to qualify for this medical aid scheme is be a school kid. And no matter where you get injured, as long as you're a school kid, the medical aid covers you. You know, Koben also explained his game called Kruger the Game. It's about hunting poachers at the Kruger National Park. You know, that's kind of unique. I've never actually heard of a game where you play as a game ranger hunting poachers. Let's just hope these international game studios don't bite the idea, because it's actually quite a unique idea. What do you guys think? Would you play that game? Let us know in the comments. You know, yeah, just let me know. Just let us know what you think about Koben. I think he's a very cool guy, and yeah, he's a very cool dude. Anyways, if you listen till the end, you're a real ninja. This was like a 30-minute interview, longer than expected. So if you hang around until the end, man, you're a ride or die ninja. Thanks a lot. It's never game over.